Hey everybody, Matt with Freestand here. Got a very special guest on the show today, Savannah Freed. She's the founder of Sweat with Sav, which is a virtual fitness company. Would you say it's like high intensity fitness? What type of
It
fitness?
can get pretty crazy, but I would say it's a mix of cardio and sculpt.
Cardio and sculpt? Okay, very cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I know like hit high intensity training. That's kind of
Mhm.
like similar.
Yeah, I don't really like using that word. I mean,
Okay.
it's definitely like circuit inspired, and there are definitely some times where it gets pretty intense. But you don't really think like
High
when you do
intensity.
the workout, you don't put the two and two together.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, regardless, cardio and sculpt. I wanted to have her on the show today. Maya Sank from Maya Moves referred me to her. Thought it'd be really cool. I'm obsessed with virtual fitness. I think it's just like so cool. And I'm like super excited about where this space is going in general. So just, trying to talk to as many virtual fitness instructors as possible. So I thought it'd be really cool to have Savannah on the show. And yeah, how's everything going? You're out in California, right?
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I
Yes.
think it's cool what you're doing. Like, it's definitely virtual fitness. I mean, we're still learning every single day as we go, like what this world really is. So it's cool that you're so into it and just like exploring it, talking to different instructors. So I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I am in LA right now. I'm living at my parents' house, but I am going back to Williamsburg, Brooklyn in a couple of weeks. That's where I live most of the time. So I'm excited to get back there.
Cool. Alrighty, so let's just hop right into it. So how did you come up with the idea for Sweat with Sav? Like, what is kind of like the founding story behind it in the first place?
Yeah. So I lost my job when the pandemic hit back in March. So like it was like a year ago. I think
Yeah,
it was like almost a year ago exactly, coming up. I remember that like Thursday, March 12th was like the doomsday.
yeah,
And I got laid off about a week later. And I was working in the music business. I was working in concerts, doing concert production.
oof,
And obviously that's not a thing anymore. So,
yeah,
or at least for now. So I got laid off, and teaching fitness was always something that was interested in. And since like all the studios were closing, I started basically just like getting a few girlfriends on Zoom and just like hosting some workouts for them. And I realized like before everything happened, like I was in the studio, and I was working the front desk at this one fitness studio, and I got free classes from them, and I was working I was working out there like for more than 2 hours a day, which was ridiculous. Like no one should be working out for more than 45 minutes.
yeah,
And so I started creating this program where I always say like it's all you really need are 30 to 45 minutes, especially with my programming. And I wanted other people to experience that too, because I know so many girls, they like think that they have to be on the Stairmaster for 90 minutes a day and they're not seeing
yeah,
any results. So I kind of just dived into educating myself on like best practices for working out. I got a certification in group fitness. I am also getting certified to be a personal trainer. But I really just wanted to share with other people that you don't need to kill yourself in the gym. You don't need to spend hours and hours and hours working out every day. You're not going to see results. And you just got to take better care of your body. So
yeah,
kind of
absolutely. So you said you were working out somewhere and you were spending like 2 hours a day, and this was like a virtual thing, or this was in person?
and this was in person.
Yeah. Just touching on that, I think you're like 100% right. Um, like going to well, first of all, spending 2 hours in the gym, like just working out is crazy. But
Yeah.
the other thing is about regular gyms is going to and from the gym, like getting in your car, driving there,
Mhm.
getting changed, showering, the whole process takes like, it can take 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on
Totally,
where you live.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like this whole new wave of virtual fitness is just so cool because it like completely
Yeah.
eliminates that.
Yeah, I remember I was waking up at 6 a.m. every day. I didn't actually have to be at work until 9 a.m., but I was like, shoot, got to get to my 6:45 class. Then I got a shower there and I got to bring a whole bag. And it was just so ridiculous. And I was talking with one of my other girlfriends today and we were like, I hope that no one is going to go back to that kind of routine. Like that just drove me crazy. And I know that I'm not alone. So I hope that maybe when things do start opening up again, like people will kind of take this virtual fitness thing with them. I think it just brings so much more ease into people's lives. Like they literally can, I roll out of bed, I give myself like 30 minutes before
Yeah.
class to prep, but um, I hope that it stays that way.
Yeah. Well, it just gives you so much more time to do everything else. Like
Right,
when you
exactly.
do take 3 hours out of your day, it's just this crazy time suck. And
Exactly.
it makes wanting to work out because you have to miss out on other things. So it makes wanting to work out like it just makes it harder to want to work out because you're like, I need to block off 3 hours of my day to do this. Why am I doing this? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, no, it's very interesting. So you said your classes are like 30 to 45 minutes. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 30 to 45 minutes. I just finished this 10 days of movement program where it was 10 days straight of 30 minutes a day. On the weekends, we did like 45 minutes, but we had a mix of, I taught for like 6 or 7 of those days, and then we had like a yoga instructor come on for like our rest day. We had one of my friends did a Pilates class for us. So it was just like all about consistency and building a community with these women that signed up. It was just like a really awesome experience. But those 30 minutes, like I just found like that's the sweet spot. If you can just stay consistent with those 30 minutes, um, those small actions, like taking care of yourself for those 30 minutes, are going to lead to bigger results for your well being in the end run.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like 30 minutes consistently is better than
Mhm.
doing like, an hour, 2 hours, like twice a week, I feel like, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it like you build habit and then you kind of become
Exactly.
obsessed with it because you like the 30 minutes as opposed to
Yeah.
dreading an hour, hour and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know
I
what
think,
I mean.
yeah, I know what you mean. I think that's with like a lot of things. I think just shorter is better in general.
Mhm.
But anyway, so what what is it like teaching over Zoom? Like what are some of the like do you like
Yeah.
it? Are there some struggles? Talk to me about that a little bit.
So yeah, I could talk about this forever. So the first time I ever taught a fitness class was on Zoom. So I feel like I have this like weird advantage over some other fitness instructors where I've just been like that's like pretty much the only way I know how to do it. And I have been doing it for a year now where I just have so much practice. And to be honest, like I do love teaching virtually. It definitely has its pain points, like with the technology and um, obviously not being in person. Like, of course, I miss that experience of just like being in the room with 30 humans is like nothing can be compared to that. But this is where we're at right now, and it'll do. Um, but I feel like over the past year, I've also like become pretty tech savvy and I've become like a sound engineer and a lighting expert and like a million other things I
Everything.
never thought I would have like build the skills to because I just it did what I had to do to survive in this business. Um, and then I kind of became like a little obsessive over it, if you will. And for this company I was telling you about, Sutra, that I work for, I'm actually hosting a workshop next week for all the fitness instructors that are clients of Sutra, a little like Zoom production session,
That's
like
actually
best practice.
that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Just because like so what do you have? You have like the ring light, do you have like a microphone, like all that stuff? Because
Yeah,
I've
I
like
have.
recently been getting stuff and I have like no idea what
Oh,
to get.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. There's so many options, but
Yeah.
I don't have a ring light. I found that um like you can get any kind of light. Like I found these ones on Amazon that it's kind of just like a box light. It's a similar thing, but I just think it's like a little brighter than a ring light, and
Hmm.
that's what I really need, especially if you have like a darker space with not a lot of window light. And then I have a USB mixer that connects to my music source and a microphone, and then those two things streamline into the mixer to the computer.
So you're legit. You got like a whole like dashboard.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
try. The
Yeah.
only thing is like not to get like too tech whatever. My classes are to the beat of the music. And so if you're familiar with like using Bluetooth headphones and you're like sharing a computer sound, there's going to be a delay between the Bluetooth and the computer. So that's why I had to get the mixer.
Got you. Okay. So do you like plug directly in or do you still use the Bluetooth?
Um, so I use a Bluetooth mic, but then that connects to the mixer as well as the music.
Got it. Okay.
And then there's like another, then I have a speaker that's also connected to it that plays the music so I can hear the music.
Got it. Okay. I understand. Yeah. So regardless, it helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Um, so do you do like private classes, one-on-ones? Do you do only group?
I
What types of
do,
classes do you do?
yeah, so I mainly do group classes. I have a few private clients where I call it like the BFF program, where I basically you pay X amount for the month. You get 3 to 4 private classes a month. I create like weekly workout schedules for you, and you can I'm basically like there when like we share phone numbers. Like I am there for them if they have any questions, like whenever.
Got it.
So that's like kind of like a premium, like top
So
tier.
that's like you get your one-on-one sessions, and then you have you on speed dial essentially. Like if you have any
Exactly.
questions or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
And
cool.
then they get access to all of the live classes that I teach, like the group ones.
Got it. Okay. And then
Mhm.
you also and how many live classes do you teach a week? Like group live classes?
Group ones, I teach like 3 to 4 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have like a library of like do you record all the live classes and then post them on your website? How does that work?
Yeah, I record all of the live classes. To be honest, like I have like some videos up there that are just like me recorded without um, any participants there. But like the energy is just like so different. It's so much more fun to do it with a group of people. And like I've gotten some feedback, like people just enjoy the live classes aspect of it. Like the live, even if I'm like saying like 12 different people's names during the class, like they still
Yeah.
feel like they're a part of it. Um, I just wish Zoom was better quality for the freaking downloads. It's just
Oh,
sucks.
when you download it, the quality's not that great.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've just been trying to figure out some way to fix that, but it's tough.
Yeah. I think that's tough. You'd have to figure out like a different streaming service.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Zoom's good and it's bad. It's like for like what you were saying before, it's obviously not the same as what it would be in person, but it also does give you a lot of different advantages. Like, you can be in California and you can be teaching somebody in New York or
Exactly.
Florida or, you know, um, so tons of
Yeah, some
advantages.
clients in London. I got some clients in Mexico. We're
Really?
like worldwide.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm.
Are these people that you knew, the ones that were down in Mexico and London, or are these
No,
like,
these are randos.
that's awesome.
Um, yeah, I feel very fortunate to have connected with, I mean, I will say all of my clients are females. I've connected with some incredible women over the past year, and I'm like, I never would have been able to do that if I didn't lose my job, if we weren't in quarantine. Like this has just exposed me to so much like greatness and joy that I just like I'm forever grateful for.
Yeah, that's amazing. So those people that are in Mexico and those like quote unquote randos,
Yeah.
um, how did you like find them? How do you promote Sweat like all that? Do you run ads? Is it all like natural stuff on Instagram?
It's all Instagram. I've been meaning to get into ads. Like I think Facebook ads would be really interesting because that's like a whole market I haven't even tapped. Like I don't have a Facebook page or anything, but
Yeah,
who knows? Like maybe some people still go on Facebook and it's just a different market of people that I haven't like tapped into yet. But everything has been through social media. I mean through Instagram. Um, I created my Instagram page back in May of last year of 2020 and I just have been working my ass off to get as much exposure as possible, and just having people just spread the word as much as possible too. It's so crazy. Like without Instagram, I would not have a business.
Yeah.
Like would not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it is really interesting because like, and it's hard for a lot of people. See, like, seems like you're doing really well, but Instagram is like kind of like this one, like, platform where everybody just has to rely on for distribution, like finding people.
Mhm.
And it just can become like really, really crowded and tough
Super
sometimes to
crowded.
stand out.
Everyone's doing the same thing. There are thousands and thousands of fitness instructors out there just in New York. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's really hard to stand out. You're right, like in that like in this massive crowd of in this space. But what I found the most oh my gosh, there's a spider.
No way. Really?
I'm terrified of spiders. I'm
Do
so
you want, do you want to take care of it? We can. We
no,
can
it's
just
okay.
stop recording this.
It's okay.
Okay. Keep an eye on it though.
What
We
I
don't.
found, yeah.
That's funny.
um, I found that I've it's really important to just stay consistent. And sometimes it could feel really weird to just like all the self promotion. But if you just like
Yeah.
try not to think too much about it, it's more of just like you're sharing a little bit about yourself. Um, the rest will kind of fall naturally. And then also just like not being scared to reach out to as many brands, influencers, people, just like DM saying, "Hey, come try my free class. Come try a class for free with this code."
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing that could happen is they say no.
Yeah. Absolutely. The no you already have. That's
Yeah.
that's something that my grandpa used to say.
Yeah.
But yeah. But no, in terms of like the whole self promotion thing and stuff, like being a fitness instructor, like even me recently, I mean, I started this like 2 months ago, but just like doing like videos of myself and like putting them up, it feels weird, but
It's
like
weird.
eventually it's really weird, especially in the beginning. So that, and then it's, you you like become numb to it and it becomes less weird over time. But
Yeah, you become
I,
more natural at it.
yeah,
Like,
but I think just in general, like have fun with it and just like kind of just don't even think. Just like have fun, just be yourself. But I
people get attracted to that more if it's like if you're trying too hard, it's gonna show. Like people are gonna be able to tell. But
yeah,
if you can just not take it too seriously and have fun with it, people are gonna be attracted to it.
yeah. People want natural
People
content.
want
Yeah,
the messy. People want the messy. Like no one
yeah,
wants like pretty shiny stuff. Like
yeah. I
people
agree,
like, yeah.
100%. That's why Joe Rogan's done so well. He doesn't cut
Yes.
anything out of his podcast.
Yeah.
Um, but no, you're like, I've watched some of your stuff and it's like just your energy. It's just you very high energy, like very engaging. Um, so you do a good job at that. So like for anybody listening, go check out Sweat with Sav's Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
Sweat.with.sav.
Yeah, go,
And if you want a free class, a Zoom class, you can join with the code SUNSHINE in all caps.
there you go, Sunshine. I'll make sure to include like all that stuff in this too.
Cool.
But no, you're just like have very high energy. It's just like very engaging content. So, and like a lot of people, I've seen tons of fitness professionals out there and everybody tries, but you can tell like some is just a little bit more rehearsed than
Yeah.
others. So you're, yeah, totally right. Just from a consumer perspective, like that's how I feel at least when I watch stuff.
Thank you. That's really
Yeah. Um, and then in terms of age groups, who do you teach? Is it, mostly people in their 20s, older people, mix?
I would say my target audience is definitely like people my age. Anyone, I mean, I'm 27, but I would say anyone from I have a bunch of girls in college that take my classes. I have like this one 76-year-old who is
What?
my on demand. She does it every single day and she always like she emails me. I don't know how she found me. Like it wasn't on Instagram, but she emails me and she tells me updates about like every class that she takes and it's like the cutest thing in the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Like my mom can't even do the classes.
I wonder how she found you. I mean, maybe she was on Instagram or somebody just like took the link to your website and sent it to her.
Something.
Yeah, that's really cool. How many people do you have? Obviously, like you started off with family and friends. Best way to
Yeah.
get started. How
Mhm.
many, like, what was the first time you got like a random client that wasn't through a connection?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say last summer is when it like started to pick up. Like I was sending out email blasts like every Sunday. I was like, please, please, please tell your friends about it. Like tell your family, like whatever. And then finally it started getting some momentum. And I would say like June, July of last summer is like when it really started to pick up. Like I was getting people in my classes. I had no idea who they were, and it was really exciting to me.
That's really
And
cool. Yeah.
um, I still get excited every time someone new comes into my class. Like I love it so much. I love the reason why I'm doing this is like I love people. Like I love meeting people. I love connecting with people in this like 10 days of movement thing. What I loved about it so much was it's so much more than just like the workout. We had this group chat on Instagram. You can only have like 32 people in a group chat. So there's like 32 of us in this chat, and we just like went off in the chat like all day, just like getting to know each other more. And like that is what brings me so much joy. That and like hearing them talk about how good they feel after the workout. Like I don't really care. Like yeah, sure, I'll do the workout, like whatever. But hearing them saying like that they feel so good in their bodies is like that brings me the most joy I could ever ask for. So
Yeah. That's really cool. I never really thought about like the community aspect of it too. Like whenever
mhm.
I see virtual fitness, I'm like, okay, it's just like take the class, you're done, and then see you later. But
Right.
that's a really good idea to set up. Um, like what was it? It was just like a group message on Instagram.
On Instagram, yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Very cool. And then in
Yeah.
terms of your website, let's talk about that a little bit, and maybe
Sure.
talk about Suture a little bit.
Yeah.
I took a look at your website. I also took a look at Maya's, which I think is set up through Suture too.
I
And
built
like you did,
it.
it's really well designed. Like it's like great.
Well, she has great content. It was easy for me.
Yeah. But no, it's just like a really nice website. So Sutra, for those that don't know, it is Savannah was explaining it to me before we started, but essentially you like to describe it as like the Shopify, but for virtual fitness classes, right? Like super
The
easy to
virtual.
set up, or for virtual fitness instructors, essentially. Um, right.
Yeah, our the people that use the Sutra software are the fitness instructors, but then also like those are our clients. But also on the other side, the same way it's so easy for anyone in the world to use Shopify and buy a product, just as easy for one of your clients of a fitness instructor to purchase an on-demand video or sign up for a monthly subscription for live classes, you name it.
Got it.
Yeah.
And Sutures, it's like a pretty new company, right? It's like a startup. Okay.
They're just over a year old. So they kind of like got started right before the pandemic hit. They had this idea. And then they're like, oh shit, like the whole world is going virtual. Like we got to get on this. And they kind of just put their foot to the gas and now, and they haven't looked back ever since.
That's very cool. And how'd you get connected with them? Is it like people that you know, or?
So I started using Sutra back in November, and I fell in love with the team. And I was like, I was looking, I had some time, I can do some extra work on the side. So I reached out to the founder of the company, and she was like, we actually do need a lot of help. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and so then I was able to get started with them. It was like the end of January of this January I started with them, and I've been building websites for them. I've been helping with some sales and just like new business development as well.
That's awesome. Um, and then through Sutra, you just do it through Zoom still, right? So
Yeah. So the way Sutra works is um, so an instructor will create a class, like let's say Saturday morning, 11 a.m. A student can sign up for the class. He'll get an email confirmation with the Zoom link. And then after that, all the instructor has to do is you show up, the little banner pops up for your Zoom on your Zoom dashboard. click join, all your students are there.
Oh,
It's pretty
gotcha.
great.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Mhm.
Streamlines everything, makes it simple.
Exactly. Exactly.
Very cool. Um, okay, so it's 6 months from now, 8 months from now, maybe like 10 months. Things start to get back to normal a little bit. Um, Gyms open up, studios open up. You have the option to, go in person and bring Sweat with Sav in person. Do you think you're going to do that? How does the business look down the line?
I think about that every day. I have no idea. I mean, I love what I'm doing right now. I think that I will probably have to adapt because most of my clients are in New York. So that means they love group fitness classes and going to the studio and like that whole experience. So I'm sure I will do some um, park stuff maybe. Like I need to figure out renting a studio space. Like that's a whole another beast that's going to be really interesting now that all the studios are shut down. No instructors are going to go work for studios again when they see how much money they can make doing it on their own.
Yeah.
If you don't have to work it, you don't have to get it up at these crazy hours. So I think it's gonna be really interesting adjusting back to that. But to answer your question, I would love to continue doing virtual forever, but I also miss the energy of in person. I was able to do some park classes last summer, and that was super fun. So I'll be going back to that for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It will be interesting to see what happens. I was talking to Maya about this, and she was like, I think I'm going to like kind of adopt this like hybrid model,
yeah.
um, where I do like in-person classes, but I also still offer live streams, and maybe
Hmm.
you can do it at the same time, which would be really ideal, because you would like knock two out at once. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. There are a few studios that were started doing that before COVID. Like this one studio, Dance Body. Um, they they have like you're in the studio, but then they have a camera in the back and they're just live streaming the whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. Um, Very cool. Um, just looking through these questions here.
I have a
So,
question. What kind of fitness do you like?
what's that?
What kind of virtual fitness do you like to do?
I haven't really participated in any, to be honest.
Really?
I haven't. My brother owns a CrossFit facility in
Nice.
Westchester. I actually have his shirt on right now, but so he has a CrossFit facility in Westchester, and when the pandemic hit, like his gym obviously got shut down, so he brought everything virtual. So I tried a couple of his classes, which are like pretty intense because it's like CrossFit. Um, at least for me, it was intense because I'm a little bit out of shape. But I've tried that. I've done I've done Peloton, which I really liked.
Hmm.
But of course, it's a whole other animal.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's about it.
Cool.
But I'm open to doing anything. Who knows? Maybe I'll join a Sweat with Sav class.
Totally should. That'd be
Yeah.
so fun.
I'll be the first male.
And no, a lot of guys do it. They just don't stay consistent with it. Like,
Okay.
well, when they do it, they love it. But for some reason, like, I don't know a lot of men that like really enjoy like the virtual group fitness stuff. So I was like, really excited to talk to you about it. But
Yeah.
like, I feel
Well,
like guys just like to do their own thing.
yeah. Or they just like going to the gym with like one person. I feel like the girls, maybe it's, a little bit has to do with since you already have so many females, you know what I mean? Maybe
Yeah.
like it's like they like all the girls love coming together. And maybe guys like don't want to. I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, um, so last question. Somebody's listening. They want to start like an online business. They're starting an Instagram page. It could be any business. Could be virtual fitness. They could be selling shoes. You have any recommendations for people?
Yeah. I so um one of the biggest lessons, the most valuable piece of advice that I've gotten while Trying to do this thing was I had this like actually a fitness coach or fitness. She has this program called the Fit Pro Co, which is basically for aspiring fitness professionals to expand their business. She's amazing. Her name's Rachel Brooke. Check her out, Fit Pro Co.
I've
She,
actually seen her.
oh, you've seen her.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Um, she, one of the first things she ever said when I first started talking to her, she's like, Savannah, don't be afraid of the messy. And I said this earlier. Don't be afraid of the messy. Like once you start like being afraid to be your truest self, like you're the one that's holding yourself back from growth. You just have to dive deep, put on your blinders. Don't be afraid of what anyone else will think. Like if you are truly passionate about whatever you're doing, whether it's shoes, whether it's I don't know, business card making, like
Yeah.
whatever. If you have that passion will take you a really long way. And don't be afraid to mess up or try something because you know what? You have more time. You're on your own timeline. Like you
Yeah.
make your own timeline. You can change the pricing of the hat you want to sell as many times as you want. Like no one cares. Like just figure out what works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if you don't embrace the messy and you kind of like fight it, and like we were
Yeah.
talking about before, like you try and perfect everything, you will tire yourself out so fast.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You will burn out like so quickly.
Yep.
But as long as you just try and stay your truest, most beautiful self,
There you go.
like Glennon Doyle.
Wise
Love her.
words.
It's Glennon Doyle. Did you read that book, Untamed?
I did not know.
Okay. She's, oh, love her. Okay.
It's good.
She says, unleash your most beautiful and truest self just by through the messy.
Yeah.
By not giving a crap about what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially like on social media and everything. If you really do try like that, you're gonna burn yourself out so fast.
Yeah.
I think that's great advice. Anyway, any last words, or did we cover it all?
I think we covered it all. This was so fun. I'm so pumped for you like to continue exploring into this world. I'm obsessed with it. I get to talk to virtual fitness instructors all day at my job at Sutra, building these websites for them. So it's a fun space. It's a really fun space, and you meet some really cool people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thanks for having me on, and I wish you the best of luck with everything.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And yeah, let's get back in touch maybe in like 2-3 months. You know, we'll check in. Maybe we can do this again, see how the business is going, see how things have changed. And we'll take it. Cool. All righty. Sweat with Sav. Check her out. I'll put tags in for everything. 30-minute sculpt and cardio. This is not high intensity training. Okay, everybody. So yeah, but go check her out. I'll put links to the website, Instagram, all that stuff. Otherwise, I think we've covered it all. So thank you, Savannah, and we will talk soon.
Thanks, Matt.
All righty.
Bye.
Adios.